I've said this time and time and time again. You need to ask the right questions. Whether you're speaking with your customer over the phone, through Microsoft Teams, or in person, there's going to be situations where you start boring your customer. There's going to be situations where your customer's attention span starts flying away. They start going on their phone, texting, replying back to emails, and they're just not paying attention. When this is happening, unfortunately, you get further and further and further from the sale. And unfortunately, when that happens, it's because you have not been able to grasp your customer's attention. Remember, in the game of sales, you need to have your customer's full attention. And in order to get their full attention, you need to make the presentation about them. That's one of the bigger problems that most presenters and sales specialists forget. They want to show their customer that they know everything about the product. They've memorized everything about them. You got to listen to me because I put the time and day into memorizing this. Well, too bad, buddy. Doesn't matter because your customer doesn't care about your product or service if it doesn't matter to them. Remember, in order to have an effective sales presentation, your product and service needs to answer their specific problems. If it's not, then it doesn't matter. So how do you do this? Again, going back to it, guys, I've said this time and time and time again. You need to ask the right questions. You need to be effective with asking your questions. You need to know who, what, when, where, how, why, because that's going to get you all the answers to the problems that your customer has, and it'll get you as close as possible to the most perfect sales presentation that you've ever had in your life because it's applicable, not for you, but for your customer. With that being said, what does it look like when your customer starts losing attention? I mean, we've already said your customer starts texting, emailing. What else does it look like? Well, it looks like irrelevant questions. Your customer starts asking you questions that don't really make sense, or they start answering you with one or two answers. Yeah, okay, cool. Thursday, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, blue. Hey, where do you get your soccer jersey again? Those questions are not relevant to the sale. They're not pertinent to the sale. But here's the thing, guys. You can't disregard those questions because sometimes your customer's just trying to be friendly. And if you push them off at the very beginning when they start asking and trying to build rapport with you the best way they know how, you just come off like a jerk. So how do you address this without coming off like a jerk? It's simple. Answer the question and then proceed forward with your presentation, or ask them a question back regarding the sale. Ask them a question back regarding the product, regarding the presentation. Ask them if the presentation makes sense. Throughout your entire presentation, get them involved, get them interested. Mr. Customer, does this make sense to you so far? When you explain something to your customer, can you see how this is beneficial, Mr. Customer? Allow them to be involved with the interaction. Allow them to talk. Allow them to tell you their problems, what they expect to see. Allow them to paint the picture for you, and you mold that picture for them. And that's how you get your customer involved, and that's how you get them engaged throughout the entire transaction. And remember, if you have your customer's attention throughout the transaction, you're most likely going to get the sale.